Howdy, guys. It's Wrap It Up Denn by Jasper with a G, so don't you fucking forget. I wanted to do this web series because I just want to help people understand a lot of what is said in music that is missed, or just simply misunderstood or not understood to the fullest. I feel like there's so much being said that we're missing out on nowadays, so I want to be here to help you guys with that. And I do just need to let it out real quick. This is like my fucking 100th attempt at this video. And if I don't get it this time, I think I might smack a bitch. So let's get right into this. I've had enough with technology and all this stupid shit. Yeah, I'm gonna be starting this off with KOD, Kill Our Demons, Kids on Drugs. It's a wonderful project. Came out not too long ago at all. Highlights addiction, frustration, confusion. I mean, it highlights, I don't want to call it cheating, but the unloyalty, I guess is what you could say. But I don't know, there's a lot to it, but let's just jump right into it. I just a few things I want to express and explain to you guys. So, I mean, with the intro, describes the first basic human emotions, and it describes that we all go through a lot of pain and that there are multiple different ways to deal with it. And don't mind me. It's describing how we have the choice to deal with things and to choose wisely how to deal with it. But again, KOD, the song itself, I love how he chooses to use that term right for this first song, because it describes KOD. It's a very hard song. It comes off as hard. It comes off as a trap song, something you want to just bump to, something that slaps, bro. The song just describes, to me, it describes hustling and that initial satisfaction that you get from hustling, the things that you are doing, making a lot of money, the fame, the picture of it all, what so many people desire. It just captures it perfectly. Don't know what else to say about that song, Photograph. Photograph is a very interesting song. It does describe the issues that we face as a society as a whole, and all these different generations, of the fact that we get so fucked up in technology. We get so wrapped up in that instant gratification of just looking at somebody, swiping right, hoping for the best. It just describes how we search for so much in technology, and we feel that we get so much out of it, when in reality it's nothing more than a blue screen in front of us. I think he's calling out and he's acknowledging the messed up aspect. Fucking B. Messed up aspect of how we love through technology. I mean, if you look at it, there's a whole culture of catfishing, of straight lying to people about who you are, and you have the ability to when people give into it. So it's just, I think he's highlighting a lot of those issues that we face. I don't fuck with bugs. That was my bad. But yeah, let's get back into this. The cutoff. To me, this song very explicitly is just describing pain. It's describing the pain of having to. It relates to me so strongly because recently in my life I've cut off about 95% of the people that I dealt with on a daily basis, and I put up with them for a long time because I feared not having friends. I feared not having that human interaction on a constant basis, because I knew that when I'm alone, I sometimes, as everybody does, you get scared. You're kind of like, oh shit, it's just me. Now I have to deal with my own thoughts and emotions. You can't just be hanging out with people. You can't just be enjoying life. You got to deal with your shit sometimes. And I think the cutoff is just describing that pain and fear of having to cut people off, and the confusion and the misunderstanding of why people are so shitty. Sometimes, most of the time, unfortunately. I mean, right in the song it says, I had to cut some people off because they was using me. I know my heart's too big, and usually, it just, right there, he's just describing that you sometimes it doesn't make sense to you as to why people are the way that they are, and you can't get them to improve or to better themselves, so all you can do is cut them off. Cut them right the fuck off. And that's that. That's the cut, you know? Oh, look at that. I got a Twitter notification saying a bunch of people like J. Cole's tweet. Right as I'm doing his fucking project. Ain't no such thing as coincidence, folks. Let me just remind you that. But yeah, ATM, this is the reason why I wanted to do these videos, the reason why I started doing these videos, is because of this song, ATM. Automated teller machine. Addicted to money. I just love the way he gives you those options, the choices, to interpret the things in the way that you will. But again, addicted to money. It's a very, very upbeat song. It gets me hype as fuck. I love it, and it took a lot of listens to it to really understand some of the things being said. But I'm gonna jump right into a few parts. I mean, a lot of it to me was just him describing that yearn for lump sums of money, for wealth, for financial security. Don't want to fall off, so I'm all in my bag. $1 million I counted up in interviews. Without it, I'm miserable. He's just simply blatantly describing that, you know? And then I love the count it up, count it up, count it up, count it. Can't take it when you die, but you can't live without it. That just screams right there. It's just like we spend our whole lives chasing after wealth, and all in the end, you ain't got shit, bro. Like, once you pass and you're in the next realm or the next life, or you're in heaven, you know, whatever it is that you believe in, you can't bring that shit with you, but yet we chase it so strongly. It's crazy to me. But the chorus, this is all I really wanted to get on about. I fell in love with big wheels and quick thrills. My niggas running drills, can't sit still. Don't give a fuck if it kills, it mix well. Fell in love with big wheels and quick thrills. Big wheels, who stereotypically has big wheels? Big rims. Drug dealers, hustlers, gangsters, whatever you want to call them. You know, boom, right there. It gives you a visual of this situation. They fell in love with big rims and quick thrills. The quick thrill of being able to make $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 in a night versus taking fucking 2 weeks or a month to make that kind of amount of money. It's a quick thrill of being able to produce that much cash so quickly. My boy's running hip drills. They can't sit still. He's very explicitly explaining this operation that a lot of dealers and people have, where you have the kingpin sitting right on the step or the corner, and he's kind of running the show, but then he has 4 people as lookouts. They're watching, they're keeping an eye, they're making sure nobody's stepping on the block, make sure nobody's fronting on the situation, on the operation, I should say. And then you have your runners. You have the people who are actually making these hand-to-hand transactions, and then they're bringing it back to the kingpin, to the big guy, to the dude on the steps. And they're running back and forth. They're doing tip drills. They can't sit still. Boom, right there. It just speaks to me that he's just glorifying, not glorifying in a bad way, but he's glorifying the process of how everybody falls in love with this lifestyle, and how heartless you can become from it. Don't give a fuck if it kills, it mix well. I'm only counting big bills. Big bills. I don't give a fuck if it kills, it mix well. Right there. Right there. Read it and weep it, folks. Right there. He's describing, let's put an example. Fentanyl, Adderall, fucking Advil, all these things that people cut their cocaine, their fucking heroin, all this other shit with. They cut it. And they don't give a fuck if it kills, because it mix well. It makes them more money. And who gives a fuck, you know, when you're making more money? I don't know anyone that would. But again, it just speaks to me so greatly that he brings that up, that he points out how everybody falls in love with this lifestyle and how quickly it can happen, because the song is very quick. You know, I flip my misfortune and grow me a fortune. My rollie is scorching. Them boys that hated is slowly endorsing. Now coldly important. They beside me like Tommy and Martin. We ball on your court and skate up with your bitch like we Tonya Harding. She don't need her garments. She horny from all this money we countin'. It just, again, it's perfectly describing how we all fall for this lifestyle that we all love so greatly. You know, this song was just, it's incredible. Fell in love with big wheels and quick thrills. It's just literally perfectly describing that whole lifestyle, that whole situation that we all crave. You know, motivate. This song speaks very greatly to me because I think I think he chooses the way, not even what he's saying, but the way he's saying these things. Because in the song he goes, you know, very quietly, popping a pill, I'm feeling alive, I'm feeling alive, I'm feeling, and it gets louder, and he goes, I'm feeling alive, oh, motivate. Suddenly I feel like taking a PJ, fly to Dior for the weekday. Like, it's like, I think he's literally putting the process of popping a pill or taking a drug and literally putting it into song, which is amazing. He's going from, because that feeling of just being miserable, and then you pop it, and then you kind of slowly, the build up, and then all of a sudden he wants to take a private jet, he wants to go to here for the weekday, he wants to go there, spend this money, do that, ball. It just describes it perfectly in the song Motivate. You know, how a lot of people are solely motivated by drugs. They do what they do on a daily basis just to get drugs, to get lit. And I think it's also highlighting, you know, the up. This is, again, I think if I didn't mention it before, I think the whole project as a whole is describing the roller coaster of addiction, of being addicted to all these different things, and then motivate it. I think this is the up part, one of the up parts. I think ATM and motivate are when we're going up the hill to about to go down. And it just doesn't get any better than this in the rap game, folks. Like, y'all should really just take a fucking listen to this shit. If you're hating on this shit, you're hating on yourself. At this point, 2018, people, listen. Kevin's Heart. Boom, the name itself. It just describes, you know, you're my number one, I don't need nothing on the side. It just perfectly describes just the addiction of the rush of loving somebody, the rush of something new. You know, a song by Wiz Khalifa and Ty Dolla $ign, baby, come give me something new. Like, everybody loves that new feeling. So I think that's what he's describing in this song, is everybody's insecurity. More importantly, his insecurity of again, I don't fuck with bugs. Of just, I don't know, I think everybody has that thought, that feeling of unloyalty at some point. I think it comes across, and a lot of us know how to shake it off, and then some of us get more tempted than others. Shout out Kevin Hart. It happens, you know, and I think he's just highlighting that we're all human in that song, that we all have the ability to fuck up like that, just like Kevin, just like anybody else. And then, you know, the project takes a little bit of a different turn, but not in a bad way, never at all. Brackets is a very, very, very political song, at least in my eyes. He calls out a lot of shit. He calls out the fact that, you know, none of us know where our tax dollars are going specifically, and we should. And I mean, it describes in the song, you know, talks about how the money he wish you know, it's described that it goes to schools and to build roads and to this and that, but then he also describes how he sees that our schools are so underfunded and that so many things are not being taken care of in the way that they say that they are with our tax dollars. And he also describes the brackets, you know, the one that he's in, he's getting almost 50% of his pay taken out, going straight to Uncle Sam. He literally has a conversation with Uncle Sam in this song. And if you don't see that, you don't need to be listening to this shit, because it's too real for y'all. I swear, you know? And then, Once an Addict, I mean, I think he's kind of looking back on where he was at a certain point in his life, and describing, and admitting to a lot of different things. And if my phone wasn't so fucking stupid, I could give you an example. Lost in a cloud of marijuana, young Carolina, fresh fish out of water, stepdaddy just had a daughter with another woman, mama ain't recovered yet. calling me at 12 at night. She drunk as fuck and I'm upset. He's also highlighting a lot of stuff back and forth with his mom. I think he's letting out a lot of misunderstanding and frustration of why his mother was the way that she was. And again, he's looking back. You need to keep that in mind. It's very important that he's looking back on things that already happened. I think he's acknowledging, by calling it Once an Addict, I think he's acknowledging that everybody can get past these things, these tragedies, these day-to-day tragedies that happen in life. Day to day. I think he's acknowledging that we can all get past it. And it's an amazing thing. Again, you don't understand that or see that in one way or another, don't listen to J. Cole, don't listen to rap, just put on the radio and just listen to that shit. Because you don't want to learn if you don't understand this. You know, it's just, that's what I'm here for, you guys. If you don't understand, just watch this video, watch all of them, every single one I come out with, because I want to help you guys see what I see when I listen to this music. I love the song Friends, because cop another bag of smoke today. I got thoughts can't control, got me down, got me low, rest my mind, rest my soul. When I blow, am I wrong? Let me know, feels so right to let things go. Don't think twice, this is me, this is how I should be. But I'm aggravated without it, my saddest days are without it, my Saturdays are the loudest, I'm blowing strong. Some graduated to powder, I'll dabble later, I doubt it. My database of narcotics is growing longer. He's simply describing the withdrawal of backing away from drugs. And let me recount that statement. He's not talking about withdrawal specifically, but he's talking about how everybody feels withdrawal and how everybody feels that pain and that necessity to get more, roll another one, you know? But this song, to me, very, very specifically, he's talking about, fuck did you expect? You could blame it on condition, blame it on the crack, blame it on the system, blame it on 12, and the fact that they get to ride around in neighborhoods that they ain't never lived in, blame it on the strain that you feel when daddy's missing, blame it on Trump, blame it on Clinton, blame it on trap music, blame it on politicians, or the fact that every black boy want to be Pippin. Like, damn. He's really just bringing out that we could all sit here and blame the tragedies that go on day to day. We could blame it on a lot of different things. But what he's also calling out here is that he feels frustrated that his friends aren't where he is because they lack ambition, because they are struggling with addiction. I think he's just, and not only his friends, but I think he's screaming out at society and his people as a whole. And the only reason I say it like that is because obviously I am not one of you. I'm me. I'm just your average fucking white kid, you know? I've been through some shit and I've done some shit and I lived in places that y'all could never even fucking imagine, but I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm black, because I'm not, and I'll never understand some of the things that they go through and that they're frustrated with. So I think he's speaking highly on his life experiences and the things that he sees going on a day-to-day. And the fact that, you know, fast forward, them kids is grown and they blowing trees and popping pills due to chronic anxiety. I've been saw the problem but stayed silent because I ain't Jesus. This ain't no trial. If you desire to go higher, then please. But fuck that, now I'm older. I love you because you my friend. Without the drugs, I want you to be comfortable in your own skin. Like, holy fucking shit, dude. Excuse my language, but he's describing so elegantly his frustration with what's holding down so many people in the world on a day-to-day. That line specifically, I want you to be comfortable in your own skin, that spoke to me so greatly because for a long time, I could not be sober, ever. It just felt, I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I wasn't comfortable with who I was as a person to where I could be sober. And when I finally crossed that moment, you know, I had this revelation in my life about a month before this album came out. So when this album came out, it was just like, bam, holy shit. it really hit. So a lot of the things that he says, you're running from yourself and buying product again. You know, you say it helps. And no, I'm not trying to offend, but I know depression and drug addiction don't blend. I mean, that's the whole project right there in one line. Drug addiction and depression don't blend. He's screaming out to the people, just do something. Choose wisely, he says. So this song Friends is just an amazing way to kind of bring close to the project. Not in a whole, there's still 2 more songs, but Friends, I think he's speaking as friends, as if the whole, as everyone is his friend, as if he cares for everybody, but also speaking specifically on people that he knows and is frustrated with because he wants to see them do better, but, you know, they're caught in the cycle. Window pane, very quickly. This one is very, very specific about the struggle he had with to have a relationship with his mother, because he was trying to get away from all the negativity. And I mean, I relate to this very strongly because of the situation that I was in with my family, with my mother, is that it's like a love-hate, because it's your parent and they gave birth to you and you want to love them, but they do a lot of shitty stuff sometimes. And this song, I think, is just him letting that out. Is just letting out all these experiences that he had while coming up in the world and on the game, is that, you know, he hated to see his mother deteriorate in the way that she did while he was in the household. And that's what I think it's kind of a letter to himself to say, like, it's okay to feel guilty from getting away from that situation, because he got better. He got the wealth that he wanted to acquire to be able to take care of the people that he loved, and he did that. So I think the song Window Pane is him just kind of acknowledging the pain that he goes through every day, dealing with this relationship with his mother, looking back on it, you know? And again, if you don't relate to anything in any of these songs, you ain't struggled in life. If this album does not relate to you in any way, shape, or form, you had it made, and just count your blessings right now. Please do. If you don't relate to this album, count your fucking blessings, people. 1985. In 1985, lastly, I really liked this song because I think personally, I have a theory that he's describing the dystopian of 1984, that fucked up state of the government, but boom, a year later, 1985. And then I think he's also using it as like a look historically into where we were as a country and as a society in 1985. We weren't that far away from treating people like straight animals, like shit, like horribly. I think he's talking about I think he's blending the way things used to be and the way things are now. He does call out a lot of new rappers. Let me say it right here. Come here, little man, let me talk with you. I can paint a picture, the large picture. Congrats, because you made it out your mama house. I hope you make enough to buy your mama house. I see your watch icy and your whip foreign. I got some good advice, but never quit touring, because that's the way we eat out here in this rap game, and I'm fucking with your funky little rap name. I hear your music, and I know that rap's changed. A bunch of folks would say that that's a bad thing, because everything's commercial and it's pop now. Trap drums is the shit that's hot now. See, I've been on a quest for the next wave, but never mind, that was just a segue. I must say, by your songs, I'm unimpressed, but hey, I love to see a black man get paid, and plus, you having fun, and I respect that. But you ever thought about your impact? I mean, he's really just calling out the state of the rap game, the state of society as a whole, and a lot of other things. He really calls out everybody. I mean, we want to bring it back. Everybody Dies is a song of his. And the fact that he just calls out everybody in this album, in this song, but specifically, you know, he's calling out all these little whatevers. And he's actually giving them legit advice in this song. So if you're a little whatever and you're trying to hold on to whatever it is that you have, listen to 1985 and understand that you got to be true and genuine in the shit that you put off in this world if you want to continue to be successful for a long time. But this whole project as a whole, I just wanted to analyze some of the choruses, some of the words said in it, some of the lyrics. Really importantly, ATM, again, to recap, to go back onto that, addicted to money, automated teller machine, I fell in love with big wheels and quick thrills, my boys running tip drills, can't sit still, don't give a fuck if it kills, it mix well, I'm only counting. I think this whole project, this whole album is describing that we as humans can get addicted to almost anything if we let it, and that a lot of us are more addictive than others, and that you do have a choice with whatever it is you're addicted to. Addicted to furthering yourself, to making a lot of money, to drugs, to women, or, relationships, I should say, not people in specific, but he's really just acknowledging it. And I think the more we as a society and as people, as a culture, as a genre of music, the more we speak about these things, the less tragic they'll be, because we understand them. In this album, I'm not sure exactly where it says it, but in the beginning of a song it does say, I think pain is simply a lack of understanding. Once we begin to understand the things that we do on a day-to-day basis and why we do them, I think things will begin to become a lot easier for you, for me, for J. Cole, for everybody. These hoes, they for everybody. Sorry, that just reminded me of that fucking Wiz Khalifa and Juicy J song. Dope ass song. But yeah, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on the way I perceive this album. Let me know how you feel about the way I tried to project the things that evoked inside of me from this album. Let me know what project you want to hear next. Let me know if I'm a dumb fuck. Anything. I want to help you guys. I want to stir up the conversation. I want to help you guys see more than meets the eye. I just want you guys to really, I want you to have that oh shit moment. Your mind blows when you really understand what it is that is being said in a song or in a lyric or an album. I'm going to do some more. I'm thinking about doing Macadelic, because that was just remastered and put back out onto all streaming platforms. So I think I'm going to do that. Might do... I don't know. There's a lot of shit coming out nowadays, so I don't know. I'm just going to start picking things out of my music library, posting videos of them, and as it gains more attention, just let me know what you guys want to hear next. Again, let me know if there's something that you gained or heard from this song, or not this song, excuse me, but from this album, from this project, that you think I may have missed out on. Let me know, guys. Let's go ahead and wrap it up then.